30 feels crazy. I don't even feel 30. Well, my heart doesn't. Sometimes my body does. 3 decades. What does that even mean anymore, a decade? That feels so grown and washed and strained. A decade. Used to feel infinite and long and untouchable. Now it feels like a night's sleep. What was I doing when I was 20? Okay, I was doing a lot of things. Honestly, I was learning. Recently, I read my old poems from that age and I thought I knew everything. Same way I feel I know everything now. I look back at 20 and think how dumb and naive I was, thought I knew the answer, thought I was bigger than life, that my problems were unique and that it was my hand angry at the sky and no one else's, that no one understood what that meant. I thought wrong. I thought a lot of things wrong. My problems weren't unique and I didn't know that. Maybe I did, maybe I was afraid to admit it. I'm 30 now and I understand having the same problems as the person who lives next door doesn't make it any less significant. Actually makes it unifying. There's comfort in knowing you're not alone. I was 20 then and I was dumb and naive. I know in the next decade my 40-year-old self will still think the same thing of me right now. 20 years old, 10 years ago, the age I started growing out my hair, I rolled up my jeans too high, I took fuckboy pictures, I pissed off my first ex-girlfriend, I lived with my best friends, we smoked, we drank, we made memories, I made mistakes, I made a lot of them. I grew and I dreamed and I failed and I lost hope. I was poor, I was depressed, I was 20. Over the years, some habits stayed with me, some good, some bad. Some habits I quit, some good, some bad. I couldn't tell you what I was doing on a specific day between then and now. I couldn't tell you what moment was the defining moment that brought me here. I'm not entirely too sure I could even tell you if it's all the small things built up that made me who I am. What I can tell you truthfully, I blinked and I got here. I blinked and I'm living my dream. I blinked and I'm making my 20-year-old self proud, chasing after the things I promised myself I would chase after. I blinked and I got here. I wrote my way to the existence I dreamt of. I became the hero to my own film. I blinked and I got here. Last 10 years I've had loads of help from loads of people. Family and friends who spoke words to me. Not the words I wanted to hear, the words I needed to hear. To push forward. To take the next step. To be encouraged. To let life sweep me up from my feet, the good and the bad. To be loved. To fall in love with the beauty of everyday second chances. Is how I started to love myself again. Is how I graduated university. Is how I moved to New York City. You learn a lot about yourself in 10 years' time. You change and you progress, small steps forward, some steps back, but always forward. The past decade I did just about everything I told myself to do. The past decade I realized my journey wasn't late or slow, wasn't even on time. My journey was simply mine. The past decade I cried happy tears and sad tears, all the same, both worth it. In the last 10 years I truly fell in love with poetry and words. In the last 10 years I wrote more than I could and less than I should. I'm 30 now and I'm going to continue to grow. I'm looking forward to making more memories and some mistakes along the way. Maybe I'll go back to short hair in the next 10 years. Maybe I'll finally direct one of my screenplays. Maybe I'll live in Maine and fish for a living. I'm 30. There's still a lot to learn, and I'm alive.